what I think, you know, a lawyer's role is to talk you through what you're entitled to, and also to help you with the negotiations financially between you and your ex-partner. What they're not there to do is show you what that capital is actually going to mean for you, what it's actually going to do for you in the future. And so one of the things that coming to a financial planner up front can do, because we all tend to use cash flow modeling software now, certainly I do. When I did my own cash flow modeling plan for myself, you know, before I actually instructed lawyers, and that gave me great comfort, because it showed me when I'd be able to pay down my mortgage against, because obviously you put your current assets and income into the system, and then you can put in various scenarios, what if this, what if that. So you can actually think, well, okay, so what if I come to this agreement, or what if I come to that agreement? And you can give yourself a bit of peace of mind, because it gives you some structure. It shows you, for example, well, if I am able to afford to keep doing this with my pension, or alternatively, if I get this amount of pension share from my ex-spouse, what's that going to look like at 55, 60, 65, whenever it is you decide you want to retire? If I take over the family home and the mortgage is at, you know, X%, what is that going to look like? When am I actually going to be able to physically pay that mortgage off? And we can also put life events in. So what about affording, for example, if the kids are going to go off to university, you know, will I have the capital to help support them? So I think that, you know, the cash flow modeling really helps. And I don't know, I can't speak for the financial advisors, but the way that I operate is that, you know, you can come to me and we will work with you, and we will do all of that without charging you. The only point at which we will take any fees is at the point where it's all agreed and you've got the money, and then you physically decide to invest some of it. And that's obviously completely different to the way that the lawyers work, because the lawyers obviously have to charge for their time, because there isn't a final output for them. You know, they're there to help you through the process. You know, we can then help you implement the actions after the process is finished. I think the other thing as well, in all seriousness, is people, now that I'm more acutely aware of the different roles professionals take within the process, I think that, you know, lawyers, there's a high expectation on lawyers to do everything for the client, and actually that's not what they're there for. And I think it's kind of, you know, understanding, I suppose, that the lawyer is there to take you through the legal process. You know, that what they're not going to do is show you what life is going to be like afterwards. And the problem is, if you haven't made the right decisions during the process, you can't undo it, can you? You know, once you signed that consent order and the court stamped it, that's it, you know, you're done. So, and I know in exceptional circumstances things can change, but for the vast majority of people, that's it, you're done. And I just think, well, there's not many other things in life that you would tackle, that you would approach, without using the right people to advise you. And I think that, yeah, the kind of role of a financial planner is really vital. And as we said before, it needs to be right at the beginning. And if anything, maybe you chat to a financial advisor even before you've instructed a lawyer, because they can give you a steer on what everything's going to look like, and then you can go to the lawyer a bit more informed and be talking to them about what you want as opposed to what are you entitled to, because there's a balance, isn't there, to strike between the two, and for most people that's what happens.